Okay, picture this. You're walking through a lush, damp meadow, maybe somewhere in Southeast Asia, India, or even parts of Africa, and your eyes catch this unassuming little plant hugging the ground. It has these delicate, fan-shaped leaves, maybe a bit like a miniature lily pad, and tiny, almost hidden pinkish-white flowers. It looks, well, nice, but certainly not flashy. You might easily step over it without a second thought. But what if I told you that this humble creeper, known as Gotu Kola, or scientifically as Centella asiatica, has been quietly revered for thousands of years, not for its looks, but for something far more profound, its potential to nurture the human mind, particularly our precious memory? That's right, nestled within those green leaves lies a legacy of cognitive support, passed down through generations in ancient healing traditions like Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, where it earned powerful names like Brahmi, though sometimes confused with Bacopa, meaning the energy of universal consciousness or the herb of enlightenment, and Fottiang meaning fountain of youth. And the fascinating part? Modern science is increasingly peering into this ancient wisdom, uncovering mechanisms that suggest Gotu Kola isn't just folklore. It might genuinely be a remarkable herb for enhancing memory and overall brain function. So, let's dive deep, really deep, into the story of Gotu Kola as a memory-enhancing herb, unpacking its history, its science, how it might work in your brain, and how you might consider incorporating it into your own life. Think about memory for a second. It's not just recalling where you left your keys, though that's handy. It's the fabric of who we are, our experiences, our learning, our connections, our very identity. As we navigate complex lives, face stress, or simply get older, maintaining sharp, reliable memory becomes a universal desire. Gotu Kola steps into this arena with a unique resume. Unlike a sudden jolt of caffeine, its approach seems more holistic, more about nurturing the brain's environment, fostering resilience, and gently supporting the intricate biological processes that underpin memory formation, storage, and retrieval. The magic, researchers believe, lies primarily in a special group of compounds called triterpenoids. The most studied among these are asiaticoside, madecassoside, asiatic acid, and madecassic acid. Think of these triterpenes as Gotu Kola's active messengers, the tiny keys that unlock specific pathways within your nervous system. When you consume Gotu Kola, whether as a tea, a powder stirred into a smoothie, a capsule, or even a fresh leaf in a salad, common in some cuisines like Sri Lankan, these compounds are absorbed and start their journey to your brain. Now, how do they potentially work their memory magic? Let's break it down, layer by layer, because it's truly multifaceted. First and foremost, Gotu Kola appears to be a champion for your brain's blood vessels. A healthy, well-nourished brain is a brain primed for optimal function, including memory. Gotu Kola's triterpenes have demonstrated a consistent ability to strengthen the walls of capillaries, those superfine blood vessels delivering oxygen and essential nutrients, like glucose, the brain's primary fuel, directly to your neurons. They help maintain the integrity of the blood-brain barrier, that crucial gatekeeper controlling what enters the brain from the bloodstream. But perhaps most impressively, they seem to promote vasodilation, essentially, helping those blood vessels relax and widen slightly. Imagine narrow, congested roads versus wide-open highways. Gotu Kola helps create those neural highways, enhancing cerebral blood flow. More blood flow means more oxygen, more glucose, and better removal of metabolic waste products that can cloud cognitive function. This improved microcirculation provides the fundamental physiological support your neurons need to fire efficiently, communicate clearly, and lay down strong memory traces. Think of it as optimizing the delivery network to the brain's factories. But Gotu Kola doesn't stop at just delivering the supplies. It seems to actively help build and maintain the factories themselves, your neurons and their connections. This brings us to one of the most exciting areas of research, neuroprotection and neuroregeneration. Our brains are constantly under siege from various stressors, oxidative stress caused by free radicals, unstable molecules damaging cellular structures, inflammation, often a silent background process, the natural wear and tear of aging, even the effects of chronic stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, this can damage neurons and their delicate connections, synapses, directly impairing memory. Gotu Kola's triterpenes, particularly asiatic acid and madecassic acid, are potent antioxidants. They act like microscopic bodyguards, scavenging those harmful free radicals before they can inflict damage on neuronal membranes, DNA, and mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses. Simultaneously, they exhibit significant anti-inflammatory properties within the nervous system. They seem to modulate the activity of immune cells in the brain, like microglia, and dampen the production of inflammatory signaling molecules, cytokines. By reducing this chronic, low-grade neuroinflammation, Gotu Kola helps create a calmer, healthier environment where neurons can thrive and communicate effectively, processes essential for forming and accessing memories. Even more remarkably, Gotu Kola isn't just protective, it appears to be regenerative. It has been shown to stimulate the synthesis of key structural components crucial for neuronal health and growth. Specifically, it boosts the production of collagen and other components of the extracellular matrix, the supportive scaffolding around cells. More crucially for memory, it enhances the production of myelin, the fatty insulating sheath that wraps around nerve fibers, axons. Myelin acts like the insulation on an electrical wire. It speeds up the transmission of nerve impulses. Improved myelination means faster, more efficient communication between brain regions involved in memory processing, like the hippocampus, critical for forming new memories, and the prefrontal cortex, involved in working memory and retrieval. Furthermore, compelling research, much of it conducted in animal models but increasingly supported by human cell studies, suggests Gotu Kola can stimulate neurite outgrowth. Neurites are the projections, axons and dendrites, that neurons use to reach out and connect with each other. Promoting the growth and branching of dendrites, which receive signals, and the extension of axons, which send signals, enhances the brain's plasticity, its ability to form new neural networks and strengthen existing ones. This structural plasticity is the very foundation of learning and memory. Essentially, Gotu Kola might help your brain literally rewire itself more effectively in response to new experiences, making memory encoding stronger. Now, let's zoom in on the molecular level within the neuron itself. Memory formation relies heavily on intricate signaling cascades and the expression of specific genes. Gotu Kola seems to influence some of these critical pathways. One key player is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. Often called fertilizer for the brain, BDNF is a protein essential for the survival, growth, differentiation, specialization, and synaptic plasticity of neurons. Higher levels of BDNF are strongly associated with better cognitive function, enhanced learning, and improved memory, while low levels are linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. Research indicates that Gotu Kola extract can significantly increase BDNF levels, particularly in the hippocampus. This boost in BDNF provides direct support for the health and connectivity of neurons involved in memory, creating an environment conducive to forming strong, lasting memories. It's like giving your brain's memory centers the optimal nutrients they need to build and maintain their infrastructure. Gotu Kola also seems to interact with crucial neurotransmitter systems, the brain's chemical messengers. While its primary memory effects might not be as direct or potent on neurotransmitters as some pharmaceutical agents, it does exhibit modulatory effects. There's evidence suggesting it can influence acetylcholine signaling. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter absolutely vital for learning, memory formation, attention, and arousal. In fact, deficiencies in acetylcholine are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease, and many memory-enhancing drugs work by boosting its availability. Gotu Kola may help protect cholinergic neurons and support acetylcholine function, contributing to clearer cognitive processing and memory consolidation. Additionally, it appears to modulate the GABAergic system. GABA is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, promoting calmness and reducing neuronal noise. By potentially enhancing GABA's calming influence in certain brain circuits, Gotu Kola might indirectly support memory by reducing anxiety and improving focus, two states that are crucial for effective encoding and retrieval of information. When you're less frazzled and more present, you're far better equipped to form clear memories. We also can't ignore the significant impact of stress on memory. Chronic stress is a notorious memory thief. High, persistent levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, can actually damage the hippocampus, shrink its volume, and impair its ability to form new memories. This is where Gotu Kola's well-documented adaptogenic properties come into play powerfully. Adaptogens are natural substances that help the body adapt to and resist the negative effects of physical, chemical, and emotional stress. They normalize physiological functions. Gotu Kola is a classic adaptogen. By modulating the body's stress response, particularly the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis which governs cortisol release, Gotu Kola helps buffer the brain against the damaging effects of chronic stress. It promotes a sense of calm and balance without being sedating. This neuroprotective effect against stress-induced damage is intrinsically linked to preserving memory function. If Gotu Kola helps shield your hippocampus from cortisol's corrosive effects, it's directly safeguarding your capacity to make and keep new memories even during challenging times. So, what does all this fascinating biochemistry translate to in real human experience? What does the actual research, particularly clinical trials, tell us about Gotu Kola's effects on memory? While the body of high-quality, large-scale human trials specifically focused only on memory is still growing, the existing evidence, combined with centuries of traditional use and strong mechanistic data, is highly suggestive. Numerous studies have investigated Gotu Kola's effects on overall cognitive function, which invariably includes memory components. For instance, research in healthy elderly volunteers has shown significant improvements in cognitive performance, including attention, concentration, and importantly, memory recall, after supplementation with standardized Gotu Kola extract. Participants often report feeling sharper, less forgetful, and more mentally agile. Studies looking at individuals experiencing age-related cognitive decline or mild cognitive impairment, a potential precursor to dementia, have also yielded promising results, showing stabilization or improvement in cognitive test scores, including memory tasks, compared to placebo groups. Research on individuals under significant stress or fatigue also provides relevant insights. For example, studies on people recovering from strokes or traumatic brain injuries have indicated that Gotu Kola supplementation can accelerate cognitive rehabilitation and improve outcomes, including memory function, likely due to its neuroprotective and regenerative effects. Similarly, research in students or individuals with demanding cognitive jobs often shows improvements in mental clarity, focus, and working memory capacity when taking Gotu Kola, potentially linked to its anti-fatigue and adaptogenic actions, clearing the mental fog that obscures recall. One particularly compelling area involves anxiety. Because anxiety significantly impairs memory encoding and retrieval, ever try to remember something when you're panicking? Gotu Kola's well-established anxiolytic, anxiety-reducing, effects, demonstrated in multiple clinical trials, indirectly support memory by creating a calmer mental state conducive to cognitive processes. While more large-scale, long-term studies specifically targeting diverse memory types, episodic, semantic, working memory, are always welcome, the convergence of traditional wisdom, robust preclinical data on mechanisms, and positive findings from existing human cognitive studies paints a very coherent picture. Gotu Kola offers genuine, multifaceted support for memory. Now, you might be wondering how Gotu Kola stacks up against other well-known brain herbs, like ginkgo biloba or bacopa monnieri, also often called Brahmi. It's a great question. Ginkgo is famed for boosting cerebral blood flow, similar to one of Gotu Kola's key actions. However, Gotu Kola's effects seem broader, encompassing significant neuroprotection, antioxidant/anti-inflammatory activity, stimulation of nerve growth factors like BDNF, and neurite outgrowth, alongside its circulatory benefits. Bacopa shares some similarities with Gotu Kola, particularly in enhancing synaptic communication and possessing antioxidant properties, and both are revered in Ayurveda for cognition. Bacopa might have a slightly stronger traditional emphasis on long-term memory consolidation and recall speed, while Gotu Kola often gets noted for its additional benefits on mood, anxiety reduction, and wound healing. Many people find synergistic effects when combining adaptogens and cognitive enhancers. Gotu Kola's unique combination of enhancing circulation, providing potent neuroprotection, stimulating neuronal growth and BDNF, modulating stress, and reducing anxiety makes it a truly comprehensive memory support herb. It's like a multi-tool for brain health, addressing several underlying factors that influence memory simultaneously. Okay, so you're intrigued and want to know how to actually use Gotu Kola for potential memory benefits. This is crucial. Gotu Kola comes in various forms: dried leaves for tea, powdered leaf, often encapsulated, liquid extracts, tinctures, and standardized extracts, usually capsules or tablets. Standardized extracts are generally preferred for reliable dosing and consistent effects, especially when targeting specific benefits like cognitive enhancement. These are typically standardized to contain a specific percentage of the active triterpenoids, often ranging from 8% to 45% or even higher for concentrated extracts. Common dosages used in cognitive studies often fall in the range of 500 mg to 1,000 mg of a standardized extract, containing approximate 40 to 50% total triterpenes, taken once or twice daily. For non-standardized powder or tea, the dosage is less precise, but traditional use often involves 1 until 2 teaspoons of dried leaf per cup of tea, consumed 1 until 3 times daily. Liquid extracts, tinctures, usually follow dosage recommendations on the label, typically 1 until 3 milliliters taken 1 until 3 times per day. Consistency is key. Gotu Kola's effects, particularly on memory and cognitive function, often build gradually over weeks or months, reflecting its restorative and nourishing nature rather than providing an instant stimulant-like boost. Think of it as tending a garden. You water and nourish it consistently, and over time, you reap the healthy harvest. Many people find taking it in the morning and possibly early afternoon optimal, as its calming effects can sometimes promote relaxation conducive to sleep if taken too late for some individuals, though it's generally not sedating. Safety is paramount. Gotu Kola has a long history of use and is generally considered safe for most adults when used appropriately. However, responsible use means being aware of potential considerations. Some individuals might experience mild side effects like stomach upset, nausea, or drowsiness, especially when starting or at higher doses. Due to its potential effects on liver enzymes, though serious liver issues are rare and often linked to excessive, long-term use or pre-existing conditions, it's wise to consult your doctor before starting Gotu Kola, especially if you have existing liver problems or are taking medications metabolized by the liver, like certain statins, blood thinners, or antidepressants. Gotu Kola may have mild sedative properties and could potentially interact with CNS depressants, like benzodiazepines or sleep aids. It might also have a slight blood sugar lowering effect, so diabetics should monitor levels closely. Crucially, Gotu Kola is not recommended for pregnant or breastfeeding women due to insufficient safety data and potential uterine stimulant effects observed in some animal studies. Always talk to your healthcare provider before adding any new supplement, especially if you have underlying health conditions or take medications. They can help you assess if it's right for you and determine a safe dosage. Integrating Gotu Kola into your life for memory support goes beyond just swallowing a capsule. Embracing its traditional context can be enriching. Brewing a cup of Gotu Kola tea can be a mindful ritual. Gently simmer a teaspoon of dried leaves, or a tea bag, in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. The taste is often described as mildly green, earthy, sometimes slightly bitter. Adding a touch of honey or lemon can make it more palatable. Enjoying this tea while studying, reading, or simply taking a mental break leverages not just the herb's compounds, but also the calming act of preparing and sipping it. Some cultures incorporate fresh Gotu Kola leaves into salads or chutneys. If you choose this route, ensure the leaves are sourced from a clean, uncontaminated environment. Combining Gotu Kola with other supportive lifestyle practices amplifies its potential benefits. Regular physical exercise is one of the best things you can do for your brain and memory. It boosts blood flow, increases BDNF, and reduces stress. A brain-healthy diet rich in antioxidants, think colorful fruits and vegetables, omega-3 fatty acids, fatty fish, flax seeds, and healthy fats supports neuronal function. Quality sleep is non-negotiable. Memory consolidation primarily happens during deep sleep stages. Stress management techniques like meditation, yoga, or deep breathing directly protect the hippocampus and improve focus. Gotu Kola can be a valuable ally within this holistic framework, supporting your brain's innate capacity for sharp memory amidst the demands of modern life. It's also worth reflecting on the bigger picture that Gotu Kola represents. In a world often seeking quick fixes and synthetic solutions, this humble plant offers a reminder of nature's profound complexity and gentle power. Its memory-enhancing effects aren't about forcing neurons to fire unnaturally. They stem from supporting fundamental biological processes, nourishing the brain, protecting it, helping it repair and grow, calming the storm of stress. It works with the body's innate intelligence. This aligns beautifully with ancient holistic systems that viewed memory not just as a brain function, but as an aspect of overall vitality and consciousness. Gotu Kola's story bridges millennia, connecting the wisdom of traditional healers who observed its effects over generations with the precise tools of modern neuroscience that are now illuminating how it might work at the molecular and cellular level. It serves as a testament to the enduring value of plant medicine and the ongoing journey of scientific discovery. So, the next time you see Gotu Kola, perhaps in a supplement bottle, a bag of dried herbs, or even creeping along the ground in a garden, see it for the quiet powerhouse it is. It's more than just a green leaf. It's a reservoir of triterpenes with the potential to enhance cerebral blood flow, shield your neurons from oxidative stress and inflammation, stimulate the growth factors that keep brain cells healthy and connected, promote the structural integrity of nerve fibers, modulate neurotransmitters and stress hormones, and foster an overall state of calm alertness. All these actions converge to create an environment within your brain where memory can flourish, where encoding is clearer, consolidation is stronger, and retrieval is more reliable. It's a herb that asks for consistency and patience, rewarding you not with a sudden high, but with a gradually emerging sense of mental clarity and resilience. While it's not a magic bullet, and certainly not a replacement for medical diagnosis or treatment for serious cognitive conditions, Gotu Kola stands as a compelling, science-backed natural ally in the quest to maintain and enhance one of our most treasured human faculties, memory. It empowers you to actively nurture your cognitive well-being, drawing on an ancient botanical legacy validated by contemporary research, helping you keep your memories vivid and your mind sharp as you navigate the journey of life. Why not explore if this remarkable fountain of youth for the mind could be a valuable part of your own cognitive toolkit? Remember to talk to your doctor first, then perhaps give this ancient brain tonic a try and see if you notice the gentle unfolding of its benefits in your own daily recall and mental clarity.